stay in New York City. I'm there for a weekend. But by the time Sunday rolls around, I'm like, all right, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah. I don't like it. I've never liked it. Even when I lived in New York, I didn't live in the city. I lived in the suburbs. But that was because I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford an apartment that had parking. Like it's parking in New York City.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I have to do the road. I travel a lot to do stand-up. I have to be able to drive to gigs. So I was driving to Connecticut, New Jersey, and just to get a parking spot, I forget how much it cost back then. This is the 90s, but it was out of my budget.
I'm honestly, like, I love cities. So anytime I go to a city, if I travel to a state I've never been to before, I always want to stay in the city, and I always go to their downtowns. New York is one of the places that I genuinely do not like.
Really?
No, I don't know what it is. I genuinely did not like it, which is weird because I like big cities. But for something about New York, I was just kind of like, meh.
Really?
I don't, dude.
That doesn't make any sense because it's the most city.
I wish I could articulate
just
it.
Feeling is not interesting.
And it wasn't even like during a weird time. Like I didn't go like during COVID or anything like that. It was pretty normal time.
During COVID, they made some weird law in New York City where you're allowed to eat outside. So they built indoor places outside. So they basically built like these there were like little trailers that they set up outside, and they put dining tables in and nice lighting and shit.
Seen this one?
Yeah, New York City drivers will have to pay $15 to ride through Manhattan. Yeah.
I did not know that.
You have to pay money to drive through the city. Well, first of
this
all,
is new.
Yeah.
Oh.
they're out of money.
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you make stupid policy decisions.
Yeah, you make terrible policy decisions, and you say that you're a sanctuary city, and then Texas goes, okay, great. And they just fucking... It's kind of a gangster move by Abbott.
I mean...
It's pretty gangster. If you're dealing with the border, and the border is where you are, and everyone's like, we are a sanctuary. Like, oh, are you?
Yeah, right.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I got an idea. What is going on? Have you been paying attention to this standoff between Texas and the Biden administration in terms of the border? Like Texas has put up barbed wire, and the Biden administration wants the barbed wire taken down.
I'll be honest and tell you I haven't been following it super close, which is odd because I'm Texas born and raised. And the weird thing is living in Dallas, you're almost still kind of disconnected from what's going on at the border a little bit because you're so far north. Right. But even in Houston, because I'm in Houston a lot too, it's not something that you're confronted with daily. But anybody from Texas usually at some point in time,
What was that?
Sorry, I was checking a video.
At some point in time, you're gonna go towards the border, and you're gonna see it for yourself. But what I do know of it, I mean, at this point, we're trying not to lose control of it. Essentially, from what I can gather.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Whose idea is it?
In terms of what?
Who's letting this happen? Like it seems very organized. These people know the border's open, so they know they can just walk through.
I think there's a lot of virtue signaling, I think, involved in all of the whole, like you talking about with New York saying, we're a sanctuary city. Just, yes, we accept everyone to come in, just not our state in our city. Right. And so I think you have that combined with the reality of what happens when you have a border that honestly is not being checked. Right. So if you have a situation where you have people who are able to just come in and leave as I wouldn't necessarily say leave, but coming into a state, and it's a choke point because a lot of it is coming in through Texas. So it's easy to have that philosophy of leave the border, don't make the border, get rid of the barbed wire, et cetera, because we want to seem as if we are welcoming to everyone. And I don't think it's a matter of not wanting to be welcoming. I think it has a lot to do with the same reason why you have a front door with locks on it on your house. Yeah. Right? At least have a checkpoint to say, okay, well, if you want to come in, I need to know who I'm dealing with.
Well, do you see they had this one guy that was on video that he said, you will see who I am soon. And then they found out he's on like some terrorist watch list or something like that.
Yeah.
Terrific.
But that doesn't surprise me, though.
Well, it doesn't surprise me either, but it seems too convenient that it's happening with the numbers that it's happening at. It seems organized. And I would like to know, like, how is it getting to those people? Is anyone supplying them with resources? Is anyone telling them how to do it? Is this organized?
I think it is. Do I have any proof or data to back it up? No, it's a hunch.
Yeah.
Just because it just doesn't really make sense. I don't think anybody who's honestly being honest with themselves, you're not going to be someone who says, you know what, I just want an open border where any and everyone can come in at will without anybody checking who's actually coming into the country.
No, it's insane.
It makes no sense.